Breast cancer survivor, y'all. Yay, titties. So, you have to make light of being a breast cancer survivor sometimes, I had a mastectomy, so I had some lopsided titties going on for a minute. And I called one perky and one sleepy. So I was sad one day and I was like, fuck this, I'm about to go to Victoria's Secret and fuck one of these sales ladies up. I'm gonna go in there and just drop my bra and be like, what size am I? No, I know I'm a C and a D, but let's see if she can figure this shit out. I walked in the dressing room like, hey, I need to be sized for my new bra. And she was like, oh, okay, come on, let's go in the dressing room. And I was like, blah. What size am I? She looked at me and was like, I was like, don't stare, that's rude. I think my son's a future pothead. Any potheads in the And I say that because we went to the dentist, and he's kind of a spaz. So I'm getting my teeth cleaned, and I hear him right next to me, and he's with the other lady, and she keeps telling him, oh, calm down, it's going to be all right, while he's asking her 20 questions about what's going to hurt. All of a sudden, I hear her conversing with another nurse, and they're like, oh, we're going to put the gas on him. So I'm like, oh, shit. So I'm out in the lobby, and my teeth are all clean. I'm feeling great, and the nurse comes out, and she's like, oh, well, we had to take his spacer out. We put him on the gas, and he loved it. So I'm like, great, he loves the gas. He comes out, and he's like, hey, Mom, did you get the gas? That gas is great. I was like, no, TJ, I didn't get the gas, but I know what you're talking about, future pothead. That's my time, everyone. Thank you.
I was watching the news the other day, and they were interviewing a guy about Obama's fiscal policies. And you could tell he was underqualified on the subject matter. A couple of hints. The first one, on this particular network, under the interviewee's name, it'll say their name and their occupation. Like if it was someone who should have been interviewed, it would have been like Dr. Alan Remington, economics professor at Harvard. But for him it said Stephen Henry, and under that it said Steve. I won't bore you or dumb you down with the details, but in so many words, Steve said, Obama raised taxes, Hitler raised taxes, Obama is Hitler. Well, color me ignorant. I was unaware that for some people, the apex of Hitler's atrocities was taxes. Here I thought it was the other thing, but not him. Apparently he read a book about it, or wiki-wriked it at some point, and found out he was mad. He's like, man, that Hitler guy, he was bad news, let me tell you. Did you know that during his reign, he raised taxes over 18% nationwide? Yeah, the nerve. And during the most severe shortage of accountants in Germany's history. You're right. That was great. I feel like I've been having the same conversation again and again lately. Someone will say, hey Zach, you're handsome, intelligent, charming, have no problem going down on the ladies, and you have hair like a god. And I say, stop it, Mom. You're making me blush. She says, I mean it, you have so much going for you. Why can't you get a girlfriend? I said, you know, Mom, I don't know. I wish I knew. Wish I could figure that one out. Find somebody who I could love, would love me unconditionally. But I'm afraid I'm never going to find that person. I don't know why, Mom. But enough about that. It's time to breastfeed. I suffer from depression. Thank you. So, making people laugh helps with that. But I like it to be genuine, so if you laugh, that's great. If not, that's fine too. But who knows what I might do. The reason I'm depressed is because my life is just one soul-crushing disappointment after another. Why, just the other day, I found out that when you text message, you completely lose the ability to use the expression, tomato, tomato. Soul-crushing. But I'm a warrior, so I soldiered on and I used it anyways. I was texting my friend David, and at the end he said, well, fuck off and die. And then in all caps he said, hags. I didn't know what that meant, so I asked, is that an acronym, or are you referring to me as multiple people? To which he replied, it means have a great summer, it's from middle school. Didn't remember that, so I said, I guess I missed that one, because I was too busy crushing pussy. And he said, do you mean being sent to boarding school? To which I replied, tomato, tomato. You can't tell from that joke, I've smoked weed before. I still had to get it from a drug dealer because I'm in perfect health. And I got pulled over on the way to the drug dealer's house the other day, which was amazing. The officer's like, do you know how fast you were going? Real fast. I ran a stop sign too, I don't care. In 20 minutes you could have ruined my life. I texted my drug dealer the other day for drugs. I said, hey drug dealer, can I have some marijuana pot? He called me right away, he was mad. He's like, you can't say that in text. You can't say that in text. I was like, what do you want me to say then? I wanted drugs. And he's like, you have to use code words. And I use code words. I'm like, hey friend, can I have some child pornography? Or, hey buddy, can I get a quarter of elephant tusk? Hey dark stranger, can I get an ounce of NFL game recorded without the explicit permission of the NFL? I got pulled over another time. I was going 100 miles per hour on the expressway, which was higher than the speed limit. It was 70. And I didn't get a speeding ticket. And I found out how you'll never get a speeding ticket. All you have to do is be drunk. You will not get a speeding ticket. Not a lot of fun to find out. Aside from the obvious legal consequences, I got in a fight with my dad. I think that was the worst part. And we get along really well, so that sucked. And I lost the fight to make matters worse. Not a physical fight, mind you. He's 64 years old. I'd roll that bitch. But we got in an argument, and a lot of people think you can't lose an argument, but I'm pretty sure I lost this argument. I'll give you guys the rundown. We're going back and forth. It's like, you need to grow up. You're always getting into trouble. When are you going to act your age? It's like, you know what, Dad? I've had enough of this shit. I'm packing up my bags, and I'm running away. To which he replied, you're 25 years old. That's called moving. I lost that one. Shit, I haven't seen the light. I feel like I'm at 4, but okay. I am 25. Celebrated a birthday not too long ago. Yeah, thank you. In March, and went out to the club and did some drinking. And at the end, we played a game. Like, just we were all drunk. It's like figure out what happened 9 months before you were born to figure out the circumstances of your conception. Like my friend Kevin, my best friend, he was born January 15th, so we did the conception math. You were conceived on Easter. Seems really inappropriate. Congratulations on finding the egg, I guess. Thank you very much. I'm Zach Stein.
It is very cool that all of you came out here on a night while The Walking Dead is on. Oh, you guys like Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, that show's great. The problem is that people who really like The Walking Dead all have plans as to what they'll do when the zombies attack. Which is weird, right? You would talk to a totally normal seeming person, they'll be, oh yeah, I like The Walking Dead. When the zombie apocalypse comes, I'm gonna go to the dollar store because like it's full of preservatives, it's not good food, but it's gonna last you and it'll sustain your life and that's what matters. And that's weird. Like, I'm a big Batman fan, and I have never once said, when my parents get murdered in an alley, which of course meant I was woefully unprepared when my parents got murdered in an alley. They were going to come to the show tonight. They've never seen me perform before. If a bat flew through the window right now, you guys would be telling your grandkids about it. We're at a comedy show, we saw an origin! There's this thing that credit cards do now, and probably have for a long time, I don't know, I'm not a historian of credit cards, where if there's a purchase that seems weird or out of sync with your usual buying habits, they put a freeze on it and you have to confirm, yes, I'm suddenly buying $2,000 worth of bedding, you know, something like that. I had that happen to me. I was not buying anything elaborate, I was buying pants. I was buying pants and my credit card got flagged. And I was not at one of those upscale pants boutiques that you hear so much about. And if you run one of those and you're not calling it fancy pants, you are crazy. This was at Target. I was buying pants. I got flagged because apparently the people at Visa think something's wrong if I use a credit card to buy anything other than hamburgers and comic books. And it's upsetting that they have people whose job is to determine how miserable your life is. Say things like, oh, let's see, he had 3 meals at Steak and Shake today. Yeah, that checks out. Wait a minute, he bought 2 tickets to a movie? I don't think so. Shut it down. As you can tell from my buying habits, I am single. That's unlikely to change because I am bad at estimating how much people want to talk about video games. I tend to go high. And as a result, it sort of does weird things to your head, I think. And recently, before the snow fell and covered everything, and we could still walk and there were sidewalks, I was downtown, probably headed off to buy something that I could have gotten for cheaper at a more convenient location, but I support local business. And a car is waiting at a stoplight, and there are 3 women in the car. One of them rolls down the window and says, "Give us your shoe!" I cannot emphasize enough this actually happened. And then the light changed and they drove away, never to be seen again. And it was at that moment I realized, as soon as she asked, I took off my shoe and I was holding it out in my hand. I am like a cartoon hobo who spotted a pie. I have no will of my own, apparently, and if you were to do a Manchurian Candidate type situation with me, it would be so easy because you could skip the brainwashing. A woman would just have to say, "Hey, could you shoot a senator?" "Sure." "So, do you like Saints Row or Grand Theft Auto better?" That's the wrong answer, but we'll talk no, you know what, we'll talk about this now. I'm going to waste valuable stage time to point out that in the new Saints Row game, if you've been playing for 40 minutes, you have not only defused a nuclear missile in flight, you have become the president and defended the White House from aliens using a howitzer. If you play the new Grand Theft Auto game, after 40 minutes, somebody suggests that you get a haircut. So no, I'm not buying that for 1 second. I had not expected to get that mad about it, but I think when I planned that joke, I thought everybody was going to yell Saints Row and then carry me out on their shoulders. You're getting passed out, they're going, 3rd Street for life! You know, since video game stuff is work, can I tell you something about me as a guy who plays a lot of video games?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're back to Saints Row, which apparently is not popular in some quarters. But it's a game where you're a gang leader, and you can identify your gang because they wear purple. And I played it for like 9 hours one day because things are going great for me. And then I was driving to go see a friend because I did retain some of those going into my video game fugue state. And I remember this, I was on Eastern, and there was a dude standing on the corner, and he looked frightening. He was a tough, thuggy looking dude, and he had purple canvas pants and a purple bucket hat. And I honked at him and waved because he's in my gang. Say, I don't need you for a mission right now, I'm gonna keep track of where you are, and I suspect I could have been murdered. So I think that's the real, when they talk about video game violence, it's that. It's when you make friends with terrifying men who definitely have... That was a weird thing to happen to my voice right there, and I apologize. Puberty, I had an origin and then puberty happened. I'm hitting it out of the park. What other firsts can I have today while I'm here? Hey, there's the light. All right, I had more video game material, but you'll just have to wait till next time to hear what I think of Mass Effect 3, so thank you very much.
I live in the ghetto. I live on Eastern and Franklin. So if you watch your local news, you should know that we had 3 shootings this year already in March. So 3 for 3. It's great. A lot of crack deals by my house. It's great. I get harassed all the time because I'm a little white boy in the ghetto. My neighbor always calls me a Jake Gyllenhaal looking motherfucker. Every morning. What's up, you Jake Gyllenhaal looking motherfucker? Donnie Darko. Yo, your sister ugly as hell, man. Your sister ugly as hell, man. She was terrible in that Batman movie. Tell you what, she's terrible. Big fans of Maggie Gyllenhaal tonight at the Sunday Night Funnies, I guess. Whatever. She was great as the horse in Brokeback Mountain, but there was a shooting actually on my street for the stupidest reason. My neighbor forgot to bring home Oreos to his girlfriend, shot him right in the leg. So that's just kind of what happens. It was the weirdest thing because I was working 3rd shift at the time and I was getting ready to go. It was about 11:30, getting ready to get into work, and I just hear pa-pa. I was like, all right, that was either a firecracker or someone got shot. About a minute later, I was like, I'm just gonna wait this out. All of a sudden I hear, help! God, motherfucker, help me! I was like, oh yeah, someone got shot. This is gonna be a fun night. So yeah, he brought home the wrong type of Oreos. I haven't really worked out a punchline to that joke because I feel like the punchline is his life. He's got a hole in his leg because his girlfriend was mad that he didn't bring home double stuffed, I guess. It's rough. It's rough and tough in the streets, guys. It's tough in the streets. I feel like I have enough street cred now, though. I feel like I've lived there for almost 2 years now, so I feel like I'm kind of getting accepted into the ghetto lifestyle. Probably not, I don't know. I haven't been robbed yet, so I feel pretty good about it. It's scary sometimes though, man, it's scary. I got approached by a dude one time who was he was really drunk and he tried to get some money from me, and another homeless dude came to my defense and beat the shit out of him, which was just great. I felt like a ghetto Pokemon battle or something, I don't know. It was great, he came out of nowhere too. I was at the BP by the Metro PCS, the BP and Metro PCS. I was filling up. Never fill up there, okay? Never fill up there. It's terrible. You're gonna be on an episode of 48 Hours. This guy's like, hey man, I want to talk to you for a second. I was like, I'm good, man. He's, you got any money? I was like, I don't even have any money. I just got my card on me. A lie, but that's what you say. He's like, you're just not gonna give me any money because I'm black. Is that what it is? I was like, dude, I don't want to deal with this. It's 11:30. I'm probably too buzzed to be driving. Leave me alone. I don't want the cops to get involved in this. And he comes at me. He's like, motherfucker, I don't want to talk. And just this homeless guy comes out of nowhere and just fucking punches him. He's like, get out of here. Go. Don't ever come back. I felt like Bambi, and my dad just saved me from the shooter, from the hunter. All right. Enough of that. I'm gonna tell some new stuff. I always hear girls say that they hate that Disney movies give them an unrealistic expectation of what love is gonna be like. They always say Disney movies give them an unrealistic expectation. I'm just mad at Disney movies because I'm really not happy with the lack of charismatic animals I've met in my life. Every movie there's a talking fish, talking monkey, talking giraffe, all sorts. Charismatic, the funniest person in the movie, I've met 0 talking animals. My dog's a piece of shit, I hate her. She's the worst. Sometimes when I first got her, she would just chew up all my stuff, so I'd have to leave her in her kennel, and I'd turn on Animal Planet, and I'd DVR like Animal Cops, like the animal abuse shows. She'd be like, that's you, if you keep it up, that's you. Just so you know. Just kidding. That's mean. I've been drunk, ladies and gentlemen. I've been very drunk before, but I've never been so drunk that I've hailed a delivery driver car thinking it's a goddamn taxi. I drive delivery from the New Menace downtown on Ionia Street, and yeah, I probably get 4 or 5 drunk people to jump in front of my car thinking I'm a taxi. On Irish on Ionia, there's many Hollister wearing douchebags like, what the fuck, man? Menace taxi, right? You guys deliver people too? Come on. Deliver people? People have said that. Do you deliver people? Like, no, dude, this isn't Amistad or what is it? This isn't a slave ship. It's a delivery driver car. Yeah, that's alright. My favorite movie is Jurassic Park. I love Jurassic Park. It's my favorite movie. It's such a funny thing to me though, because I was always thinking like, that Jurassic Park is like any other theme park. I'm sure it has an accounting department and a marketing department, ad department. Those people lost their jobs because a bunch of people got eaten by dinosaurs. That's the most absurd way to lose a job. Can you imagine like quitting your old job to get a job at Jurassic Park? Like you're just some dickhead. Like if you did it like I do and I'd burn bridges, I'd be like, yeah, fuck you, Carl. Making me come in on Saturdays? I'm working with dinosaurs, bitch. Yeah. It's gonna be great. Oh, hang on, I got a phone call. Yeah. Okay, T-Rex ate everybody. Okay. Jeff Goldblum's okay.
Obviously, I'm single. I've made that quite apparent. So single, in fact, that my buddy decided to set me up on a blind date. What he refused to tell me about this blind date was that she looked like a swamp donkey. Just a hideous-looking beast. And I don't mean to sound shallow or anything, but I have to have a physical attraction toward a woman if I'm going to date her. So after we ordered our beverages, I excused myself from the table and I called my buddy who sat me up on this blind date and I was like, hey Matt, why'd you set me up with this gutter skunk looking chick? And Matt was like, Corey, I know she's not the hottest girl in the world, but we need to end your vaginal drought. And I was like, he's like, so Corey, you're gonna have to drink until she is hot. And I was like, well, no shit, Matt, that's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm not rude. Chick was so ugly, I ended up getting alcohol poisoning. That's not supposed to happen. Thanks a lot, Matt. Horrendous hospital bills in the wake of that. Terrible. I have no clue what that drunken mumble was, but I'm going to take it as a fucking compliment. Thank you, sir. So shit-faced he is speaking Cookie Monster. Congratulations. Yeah. Oh, God. I offended a chick playing pinball. She was a really hot chick. She was playing pinball. I freaked her out because I walked up to her and I watched her play for like a minute before finally saying, "I wouldn't mind tapping that next." And she looked at me all disgusted, and I was like, "Whoa, man, pump your brakes. I was talking about the machine. I'd like to fuck the pinball machine. Thank you. Get over yourself." I confuse myself because I find my neighbors very annoying, yet at the same time I love listening to them fight. Like, it's badass. Some of the terminology they use is extremely funny, but sometimes their fights just carry on and it gets annoying, and that's when I feel like I have to intervene. And the way I intervene is I simply walk over to their apartment, knock on the door, and when one of them answers, I just simply go, "Does this mean I have to go to Grandma's house tonight?" Are you funny because I struck out a T-ball again? Oh, it's awkward, you should try it. It's really good time. Yeah. It's about to get emotional in here, people. Oh, the metric system. Dicks and stuff. Somebody was talking about marijuana earlier, and I need to... Yeah! We can have an extended conversation later, sir. Yeah. I need to quit smoking marijuana, though, because the marijuana munchies are extremely unhealthy. Like, I eat like I'm John Goodman when I'm high. Like recently, I smoked some weed, I got the munchies. I made a grilled cheese sandwich smothered in Hamburger Helper. You're not supposed to do that. There's nowhere on a box of Hamburger Helper that states, "Let's stand for 10 minutes and apply to the top of a grilled cheese sandwich." Although there should be, because that's just delicious. Absolutely fantastic. Has anybody ever returned home from a long day of work and all you want to do is drink an ice cold 6-pack of beer and take a hot shower at the exact same time? Has anybody ever been sitting Indian style in the shower, 4 beers deep to your 6-pack, singing to the top of your lungs because that's the only way you know how to emotionally release when all of a sudden it dawns on you that you need a waterproof karaoke machine for your shower? That's what I'm talking about. Finally, has anybody ever returned home from a really shitty day and your day gets even shittier when you open a financially crippling water bill and realize you need to sell your waterproof karaoke machine? No, it's happened to me twice. I'm used to it by now. Alright, yeah. Fellas, any fellas ever been masturbating and realized, "Oh my god, I've already seen this episode of The Golden Girls"? Yeah. Estelle Getty, motherfucker, get your shit together. I like me some experienced pussy. Stop or my mom will shoot. No, I realize that I have an elderly woman fetish. I realize this. It just sucks because like the only pickup lines I have for elderly women are stuff like, "Hey Gladys, that diaper would look a lot better on my bedroom floor. I love a woman that wears Life Alert. You've fallen and you're about to get humped. Ooh." A lot of dudes like to rob the cradle. I like to rob the Craftmatic adjustable bed. So that's what's up. My name's Corey. Talk to you guys. Have been fantastic. Thanks a lot.